Hi guys, welcome.
To Isle of Skye!
In last vlog we explored some iconic Isle of Skye landmarks, enjoyed some hot chocolate, some sandwiches with this view, stayed in a hostel with a view that you could kill for, and got lost in the beauty and magic of Isle of Skye. Now let's see how day 3 and day 4 looks like. So after a whole day of crazy exploration, we reach our hostel, Old Inn. So we will be staying here on day 2. It's a very cute, little, charming hostel, again located at a wonderful location. This is our hallway. They gave us a room which is called Explorer Helm. Perfect name. So this time we have 6 beds in our room. There were 3 of us and also 2 other girls who were doing solo travel in Isle of Skye, and they also have a tiny sink in the room, but washroom are of course common and outside, and they'll have a washroom for girls and guys, how it usually is in hostel. But the one thing that is common across all the hostel and hotels in Isle of Skye is the view. Of course, the view was spectacular. They also had a very cute restaurant, and because today we were really tired, we decided to eat out instead of cooking in the kitchen. And guess what? Today's special was butter chicken. So of course I had to order Indian food and some burgers. I also ordered this delicious scrumptious dessert. After that yummy dessert, we played with some puzzles. I read for some time and then called it a day. We had a lot planned for day 3, but unfortunately, the weather forecast wasn't in our favor. But we are not letting it dampen our mood. We will keep our plans flexible and just hope the sun makes appearance soon. In search of some breakfast, we reached Portree, and I found this cafe called Birch. This was the only cafe that was open that early in the morning.
हाँ तो एक हेरिटेज टमाटो एक ही ले लेते हैं और एक गरना और ले लेते हैं या उसको एक गरना और एक हेरिटेज टमाटो ना हाँ तो हो गए
The coffee was amazing, and we each order our own dishes because all of us were really hungry. But I'm convinced mine was the most delicious because suddenly both of them kept generously offering me bites of their food purely so that they could sneak bites of mine in return. But I was also very smart. I kept fending them off by refusing to take bite from their dishes. Sharing is caring, sure, but not when I'm this hungry.
Breakfast के बाद fully energized.
And we are off to our first hike in Isle of Skye, the iconic Old Man of Storr. Do you see that rocky pinnacle? That's where we're going to hike. It is super cold and windy today, hence I'm wearing 4 layers. As you can see, I just hope that it doesn't rain today. Well, I spoke too soon. It started raining as soon as we started climbing.
Nakul, are you ready?
There's always this one person in the group who hates hike. So there are different trails that you can take. We are going to do the loop, so it's gonna take us around 2 hours if the weather remains good.
How's the Josh? नकुल की तो बैटरी लो है, लो लो लो।
It is so windy that you can't hear anything that I'm saying, but probably what I was saying was that it is so windy and also that everything is covered in fog. As you climb that initial ascent, you can see amazing view behind you of lake and small island. Just spectacular. And also, as you complete that initial ascent, you would start seeing the rock of Men of Storr. And like me, if you're also wondering what is the story behind this giant rock, well, the scientific story is long time ago there was landslide of epic proportion which left rocks in this beautiful formation. But as per the local legend, a giant used to live here who was buried right in the spot, but his burial was bit of a hack job and his thumb was left sticking out of the ground. Now I don't know if there's any truth in that story, but this dramatic setting of these stones against the fog gave a very mystic vibe to this place, and I felt that I was on a spiritual journey and not merely on a hike. There was something powerful and strange in the air. We made it to the top in spite this crazy weather, but unfortunately visibility was zero and we couldn't get the view. But in spite that, the entire hike itself was so amazing, so great that I would have done it anyways. After waiting for a few hours, when we realized that it's not gonna stop raining, we decided to head back in this rain.
We have almost reached the car park and I'm fully drenched. We have changed now because I was completely drenched. Oh, it is so damn cold.
We didn't get the view, but I think universe did rewarded us for that grueling hike because we stumbled upon this laundry mat. At this point, this was so needed because all our clothes were soaking wet. Thankfully, the sun was out again, which felt nothing sort of like a miracle, and we decided to take advantage of this sunny day and do another hike. If you come to Isle of Skye and you don't do the Quiraing Walk, you're losing big time because that's where you'll see most unreal landscape. But this time we wanted to be better prepared for Scotland weather, and hence we are wearing poly bags before we wear shoes because our shoes are still wet and they might get more wet if it rains. And by the way, at this point we actually had no idea how this walk is going to be. We didn't see any videos, so we were completely unprepared for what an exceptional and extraordinary walk this is going to be. When you look at this path, it might look quite daunting, especially if you're not fit enough to hike. But after a few minutes of walk, when you look back, you see this stunning landscape, especially this heart-shaped lake, which definitely makes your day and motivate you to keep moving forward. The views, the sceneries were so stunning and breathtaking that we could not keep our cameras and our phone down. The path was a bit muddy because it had rained the whole day and whole night, and there were not many people doing this hike at this time because we started quite late, but that made it more interesting. After about a kilometer of hiking, you hit a stream that can be a bit tricky to cross. Definitely watch your step kind of moment, but you should cross it because the view after that are mind blowing.
How are you liking? Oh my god!
And this is exactly why I screamed. There, right in front of me, were two magnificent waterfalls. And guess what? We were about to cross them. I've never seen anything like this up close in my life. It felt like I was living a dream. Being a mountain girl, I couldn't help but feel pure joy as I walked along these trails. Every few minutes, I would stop, take in the breathtaking view, and thank the universe for giving me this moment, for letting me experience this surreal beauty. And it was just not me, even these guys was totally amazed and taken back by these views. We had no expectations from this walk and this turned out to be best walk of our life. Another extraordinary thing I saw was this photographer dad doing this walk with his kid. By this time, we were already 2 hours in the hike and we had no idea where we were going. Trail was so beautiful, we just kept moving forward, totally lost in this surreal landscape. I didn't even want to turn back, even though we hadn't seen anyone else for a while. And along the way, we made few friends,
You're so cute! You're so cute!
venture down some odd, unexplored paths, but instead of feeling tired, I felt pure bliss. It was like food for my mind and my soul.
And there's no one around. It's just me and Nakul. And it was beautiful. Amazing.
No city noise, no hustle, just us and the mountains. And we are back at our first hostel done Flaudegree, which is run by a very cute old couple, and this is where we stayed the first night as well. Had some chips and dips for dinner. We also cooked some pasta. Day 3. The weather was clear and sunny, which made me really happy, but we all were a little sad because this was our last day in Isle of Skye. We had totally fallen in love with this place, and for a few hours, we seriously debated about extending our trip by 2 days. I was almost convinced, but the logistics were, well, tricky. So today we don't have much time because we have our bus at 4 p.m. from Fort William and it's 3 to 4 hours drive to Fort William. So we're gonna keep it very simple. Our first stop for the day was Lealt Waterfall and Viewpoint.
It's here only, Knuckle.
And as we were climbing up, I spotted a coffee sign and I literally screamed. I had been on the lookout for coffee shop the whole way from hostel, but I couldn't find anything and I had almost given up. And then to see this in the middle of nowhere, perched on top of a hill with a view of mountains and the sea, it made my day. And honestly, this was probably the best coffee of my life. Hot coffee in this weather with this view. A note to future self, this is what we were born to experience and not just PowerPoint and Excel. So plan your next travel soon. On the way, we saw this incredible castle. Though we were full on race against time to catch our bus, but there was no way we could just drive past. This view was straight out of dream, and you don't get to see this every day, so we did stop here to just soak in this view. After our castle detour, it was sprint to the bus. But of course, we had to stop for this cute little cafe. It felt straight out of fairy tale surrounded by these mountains and it was decorated quite well and the treats looked yummy. So we got ourselves some cake and some coffee. We almost missed our bus, but our speedy cab driver pulled off some serious driving magic and we were able to catch our bus back. But even if I was stranded here, I wouldn't have mind. I had no idea Isle of Skye was going to be this beautiful and magical. I would definitely come back here very soon.